What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Retro Hoop Collectibles. Pretty excited about this video because I've been meaning to do this for a while, and my idea was to do at least a couple of these a month, which are like looking at some of the inserts and highlighting some of the inserts and really talking about 90s basketball insert sets. I did one already. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was about the double feature. This is another one of my absolute favorite sets that's out there to collect. It's a little bit of a funkier set, but a little bit of controversy behind the set as well. So without further ado, we'll jump right into it. The set that I'm talking about, 1998-1999 SkyBox EX Century. That's a mouthful. By a checklist standards, not a very large checklist on this particular card, on this particular set, but there was a parallel set, an insert set in there that was the Dunk and Go Nuts set. A little bit of a wordplay on Dunkin' Donuts. Which ultimately landed a lawsuit against SkyBox from the famous coffee shop, donut shop, put out a lawsuit and said, hey, it's kind of sounds like Dunkin' Donuts. Really don't. Logo looks kind of similar. So there was some legal battles there. I think I did a video on it like a long time ago. I'll link it up to the top. There was some legal issues there, which kind of makes the set interesting, but didn't really have much of an impact on they had to stop printing it, and they took them off the market. Now this is a super duper rare set. I don't think anything like that went down. But anyway, just a little bit of controversy there. But what I like about this set, a couple of things. It's an acetate set. Which at the time was a relatively new thing to get into, printing on acetate cards. I think the entire base set was like that as well, where it was all acetate. Let me make sure that's correct, because there's some pretty interesting cards on this. It's only the base set is only a 90 card base set, so there really isn't a whole bunch of cards on this. Vince Carter rookie cards, Paul Pierce rookie card this year, Michael Dickerson, Big Dog Glenn Robb is on here, Stojakovic, for those of you who are Stojakovic collectors. This is just a great set. Dirk Nowitzki's rookie card is in this set as well. Just a really cool set overall, just the base set, 90 card base set. But anyway, we're going to talk about the Dunk and Go Nuts. 1 in every 36 packs. So that sounds like one per box, but the boxes were only 18 packs. So it was only 18 packs per box. So you only hit one of these every 2 boxes. So if you got one box and you hit one, then you beat the odds. It was great. But 1 in every 36 packs. And what's interesting about this set is relatively larger insert set. It's 20 cards total, and this is 98-99, so we're talking about like what I would consider to be like the peak of 90s basketball, right? I mean, because everybody was in this mix. You'll see some of the names on here, but what this also means is there's some obscure names on here that just kind of fizzled out and really didn't do anything. Now, if you're strictly a superstar, Hall of Fame rookie card collector, then I'd say about a third of these cards wouldn't matter to you. But if you're looking to build the whole set, right, then, this gets a little interesting. So, but look at some of the names on here. Tim Thomas, again, fizzled out. Probably did some international stuff there. Played internationally. I think he was originally drafted by Philadelphia and then went to the Bucks. So this card is him in a Bucks uniform. But, I mean, look at the names. Grant Hill, Sharif Abdul-Rahim, great player. Tim Duncan, great player, Hall of Famer. Allen Iverson, Hall of Famer. Kobe Bryant, the arguably GOAT, Jordan's GOAT 1A. I'd say Kobe is probably 1B or 2 if you had to put. Anyway, Antoine Walker, great player back in the 90s. Garnett, obviously, shout out to my man JD. Big Garnett there. Shaq, T-Mac, Antoine Jameson was a great player. Vince Carter, Robert Taylor is another one of those obscure names. Probably didn't spend a whole lot of time in the league. Again, another one that I think international. Scottie Pippen, Michael Jordan, Michael Olowokandi, which is probably not a household name, but I mean, the dude was like 7 foot out of Nigeria, was an absolute menace. I think he didn't really last too long in the league either. You guys correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think he lasted too long. I was going to look it up, but of course, one of my PC favorite guys, Penny Hardaway. Michael Dickerson in a Rockets uniform is probably one of my favorite obscure cards in this set. Ron Mercer, another one that was kind of in and out. And then Felipe Lopez, Dominican basketball player, spent some time in the league, and then I think kind of bounced around between like NBA G League and a Dominican league and international leagues, and just kind of bounced around a little bit there. But funny enough, the makeup of this entire set is just kind of a bit all over the place, right? But obviously, when you're trying to put this set together, there's 20 cards total in the set. But I mean, if you're going to be looking for, the Felipe Lopez, the Ron Mercers, the Tim Thomas, those will probably be, if you can find them, they'll probably be relatively cheaper to buy. But obviously, if you want to put this set together, the two big dogs are going to be the Jordan and the Kobe, followed closely, probably, I would say, by I keep saying probably, but it's as if I'm not an owner of a data company. So, like I said, obviously the big one in terms of volume also is Allen Iverson. $220 raw, $1,000 in a PSA 10. But like I said, the two big ones that you're gonna have to, the big mountains you're gonna have to climb is the Jordan and the Kobe. $150 raw on that Jordan. That's interesting. I would probably pay that. I have a pretty strong, $150 single card cap that I try not, a budget that I try not to exceed, with the exception of, some Olajuwon cards, maybe some Jordan cards and stuff like that. But $150 raw for the Dunk and Go Nuts Jordan seems pretty cheap. $500 raw for the Kobe. So those are going to be the big ones that you're going to really have to shell out some cash for. If you can manage to get those two in your set, then the remaining set is relatively cheaper. Not that much cheaper, but still not too bad, I would say. If you can find them, like the Antoine Walker, $60 raw, the Felipe Lopez, $30 raw, the Ron Mercer, $30 raw. Not very many sales on the Olowokandi. Some PSA sales out there, but even in a PSA 10, it's $68. In the PSA 10. This makes the set a little bit more attainable if you've managed somehow to pick up a Kobe Bryant and a Michael Jordan. I mean, just collectability wise, I remember seeing this set. I saw the Anthony Hardaway when I was a kid at the LCS, and I remember looking at that card, and I think if I'm not mistaken, it was probably the first time I've seen an acetate card. And I saw it, and it was in the display case, and I was like, what the hell is that? Is that printed on glass? I remember thinking it was on glass, and I mean, it's a great set to have. And then what's funny about it, for me, to sit there and look at some of these players that are in there. Penny Hardaway, which is one of my PCs. Obviously, the two GOATs, Jordan and Kobe. But then is there a little bit for everybody? Tim Duncan's in here. Abdul Rahim is in here. Big Shaq is in here. T-Mac is in here. Penny is in here. It's a great set to have. It's a great set to pick up. And not only that, but it's a very well-known set. It's one of, Jordan and Kobe's premier cards to have. It's like a sort of I don't want to call it a blue chip, but, if you have a well-rounded Jordan collection, then the Dunkin' Go Nuts is a staple. Same thing for Kobe. The Dunkin' Go Nuts Kobe it's a staple to have. If you have it, it's a really interesting piece. Obviously, with prices going down and things like that, it's these are the type of cards that are cool to have in your collection. Anyway, one of my absolute favorite sets. If you're a set collector, pretty good 20 card set to go after. If you're just a big Jordan, big Kobe guy, also a staple to have in your collection. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Do you have any of these Dunkin' Go Nuts cards? Do you have a Jordan? Do you have a Kobe? Let me know down below in the comments. Does anybody have this entire set? Which would probably be more impressive in my opinion, because it's a pretty large set, a large insert set. Let me know down below. I appreciate you guys watching as always. If you like these kind of vintage deep dive highlights, please hit the like button. That's how you let me know. And we'll catch you guys on the next video. Love y'all. Peace.